Hello fine feathered friends, I'm Quix, and welcome to the first video in a new series that definitely won't have huge gaps between uploads. The keen-eyed amongst you will also notice that this is not my usual Destiny content, and wow, wouldn't you know it, I'm trying something new. It's called variety content. And also uploading to YouTube instead of only streaming on Twitch all the time. This series that I'm calling the Gaming Bucket List will feature gaming challenges, achievements, or just goals that I've always wanted to complete, but never had the motivation, time, resources, or friends to do them with. Much like a real-life bucket list, some of these will range from very difficult or rare achievements to simply trying to beat a game for the very first time, just so I can say that I did it. In the case of this video, we're diving back into Minecraft, which is probably tied for my most played game of all time. A game older than most TikTok users, yet has just as much brain rot. A franchise that spawned an entire generation of creativity, innovation, amazing mods, and an unending stream of content. But today, I'd like to go back to the classics. In 2011, we were introduced to the pinnacle achievement for Minecraft at the time, Hardcore, where the difficulty is set to its maximum and you only get one life, no respawns. These days, the hardcore genre is pretty widespread and doesn't even seem like a challenge to some, but seeing as how I had never even attempted a hardcore run in my youth, there would certainly be a learning curve for me in the future. So, in the spirit of nostalgia and letting my inner 14-year-old feel truly fulfilled, I decided to give hardcore a try as the first item on my gaming bucket list. Starting out, we spawned in a forest and got to work trying to beat the game. For those who don't know, the way to beat Minecraft officially is to travel to the end dimension and defeat the Ender Dragon. Now, I'm certainly no speedrunner, and there are plenty of people out there who could do this whole challenge in minutes. I, however, am what the kids would call a filthy casual, so I would be completing this challenge slowly and methodically, going through each stage of progression, just as Mojang intended. Step 1, surviving the first day. Starting out in a new Minecraft world is pretty standard, and I'm sure most of you watching are pretty familiar with this. Punch a tree, make some tools, harass the local wildlife, avoid lava pools, and diggy hole. It was at this point that the reality of my situation became very apparent at the first encounter of some underground zombies.
Oh, Jesus. Oh no. Oh no.
The possibility of dying, losing everything, and having to start all over was the wake-up call I needed to force me to play safer and not like a noob. The next morning it was time for step 2, finding a place to mine. I boated around a while trying to find something interesting and eventually found a village in a snowy biome that I decided was as good a place as any to set up a base camp. I moved into someone's Airbnb to dump my stuff, and I'm sure the homeowners don't mind. My next task was going to be doing the first half of this game's namesake and going underground for resources. Exploring the tundra, I quickly found a giant hole that probably had some goodies. While it did indeed have some more ore, it also had a shit ton of monsters because, oh yeah, the difficulty set to hard. I got to work spending the next hour or so mining every shiny rock I came across. Delving even deeper and having amassed a small fortune in materials, I decided it was time to put it all to good use. I made some new tools, made some new pants, made some new friends, and made some new pants.
Okay, that's just for the arm. I made 2 leggings. Damn it! That's twice now I've goofed.
Eventually, I got so lost in the caves that I had to dig straight up and hope I came out somewhere safe.
Okay, spelunking trip successful. Hey look, an igloo.
The igloo had a basement, I cured the villager, and went on my way. After finding my way back home to smelt and unload stuff, it was now time for step 3, making a portal to the Nether, because I needed blaze powder, which meant I needed obsidian, which meant I needed lava. I didn't feel like going back underground, especially with the risk of monsters, so I set out into the wilds in search of natural lava pools. We had also been going for several hours at this point, and the paranoia of failure was starting to set in.
2 hours in, I'm ready, I am anticipating, and I'm mentally prepared for my inevitable demise. The question will be, what does me in? I'm gonna die to something stupid. It won't be like, oh, mid-combat with enemies, I'm gonna, like, fall off a ledge into lava or some shit. Oh, lava pit. That's what I've been looking for. 14. We're out of here.
Then we came back to base, started making a bunch of shit, including an enchanting table, and finally built and lit the portal. I was almost ready to begin my quest for blaze powder, but first, it was time for step 4. I was hell-bent on using this new enchanting table for some fire-resist armor and possibly infinity on the bow. This would certainly make the later game much easier, but that required a lot more XP than I currently had, as well as extra bookshelves to boost the enchantment table. And so I was off to try to find every source of leather and XP possible. I spent a solid 2 hours wandering the wilds gathering leather before finally deciding to head back because I'd been playing for 37 times longer than the average speedrunner takes to beat the game blindfolded, so I think it was about time I sucked it up and went to the Nether. But first, I needed a quick bathroom break, so BRB.
We'll find out when I get back, so stay tuned. 5 minutes, BRB. Hello, everyone. I would like to inform you of a lesson to be learned here. That lesson is that you have to remember to pause your game. Then you walk away. So, we will be restarting. Going again.
Yeah, so after 4 hours of play, I forgot to pause the game. A gargantuan rookie mistake, and unfortunately, I couldn't even spectate the world to see all of the progress we just wasted, nor did I have any footage of the zombie that killed me. Alright, take 2, here we go. This time we spawned on a mountain peak, that's pretty neat I would say. Punch a tree, dig a hole, make food, nearly freeze to death, and almost get lost in the deep dark. You know, the usual. I did find this waterfall that rained down an infinite supply of free fish though, so that was cool.
Are things just falling down from the sky?
Anyways, off I went to find something interesting, and hey look, a village. I bet that would make a nice base. Time to promptly steal all their crops, move into a house, and dump all of my obsidian into storage that I will definitely remember to come back for later. I tried bullying this golem into fighting the undead for me, but he was having none of it, so instead I was forced to go underground all on my own. This mining trip was tense, fraught with danger, and exciting to play through, but not exciting enough to edit for this video, so hey look, diamonds. I found this ruined nether portal that was nearly complete, but unfortunately I had no obsidian on me to complete it. Nah, just kidding, the chest next to it had the exact amount I needed. Quick break, making sure to pause this time, and we were finally into the nether. I immediately set out in search of a nether fortress, and it didn't take me long to find one. I got to work taking out blazes, and they got to work almost ending my run for the second time.
No, I'm gonna die here. This is it. GG's. This is it, GG's.
After a few minutes of fiery combat, I was on my way out with the blaze rods. I traded with the natives and lucked out on some ender pearls. You could say it was a dream come true. Anyways, I made my eyes of ender and we were in the final stretch. Finding the stronghold. Remember earlier when I said I was not a speedrunner or a pro Minecraft player? Yeah, that was never more apparent than when I tried locating the stronghold, since it took me nearly an hour to find the damn thing. By the time I did locate the stronghold, I had been playing Minecraft for nearly 6 hours, which is the equivalent to a single raid of Salvation's Edge. My Destiny players are seething. Locating the portal room, I discovered that it was completely empty and needed all 12 Eyes of Ender. I had a few options. I could either sit outside all night and hunt Endermen and hope they dropped Ender Pearls, or I could go back into the Nether and play Las Vegas Simulator with the piglins. I opted for the latter, but didn't have a portal. No problem, just dig down until I find some lava and make one. Back in the Nether, I got to work trading every single piece of gold I had. I know I made a dream joke earlier about the pearl drops, but I think the universe had it out for me and decided to drag my visit to the Nether out by another 2 hours. After finally getting the pearls I needed, I figured fuck it, I've been here long enough already, I might as well spend another half hour mining all the quartz in sight for XP. I got an achievement on the way out and almost jumped into lava. After finally getting back from the Nether, it turns out I still had 2 pre-made Eyes of Ender from earlier that I forgot about, so those last few Ender Pearls that I traded for were a waste of time. Last thing to do was enchant my bow with infinity, and I would be all set for the end. Thankfully, in all of my trading with the piglins, they had given me an ample supply of spectral arrows, so I should be all set, especially with this new infinity enchantment. The Minecraft nerds out there might already know where this is going. With my gear enchanted, the portal completed, and nearly 8 hours into this run, I was finally ready to attempt the boss fight. The Ender Dragon isn't a hard fight by any stretch, but having never done hardcore before, I was feeling the fear of dying and losing it all. Spawning in, it was time to get to work, but not before getting harassed by the locals. Fortunately for me, they hate bathing just as much as the average Destiny player. After warding them off, I could finally get to work shooting down the end crystals that heal the dragon. Avoid more disgruntled tall boys, then back to crystal sniping. A few crystals were caged, so I scaled the towers to take them out by hand. even more tower sniping, and even more eye contact avoiding. With no more sources of healing, it was finally time to start damaging the dragon. And that's when I discovered a flaw in my prep work.
It doesn't work on spectral arrows, dude. It has to be normal arrows. Are you fucking joking? And I didn't bring any normal arrows.
After a few more minutes of melee combat that, despite not looking very intense, had my heart rate through the roof, as this was about to be my very first hardcore completion.
Yes, let's go! Let's go!
And with that, the first item on my bucket list was done. Huge thanks to all the fine-feathered friends who joined me on this stream, and if you'd like to catch any future challenges or achievements, I'd love to have you over on the Twitch channel. 2025 is hopefully the year where I finally start dedicating more time to uploads here on YouTube, as well as refining the quality of future streams. So your subs, likes, and support goes a long way to helping me make more content throughout the year. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you around next time. Bye!
Oh, my hands are shaking. I'm getting tingles. My fingers are going numb.